I have some notes that I've jotted down. Not sure what I'm going to stick to or not. Sometimes less is more. But I guess I'll start with saying I graduated about 5 years ago from Michigan State University with a degree in journalism and political science, and have considered going back to get my master's in public policy. We've all earned credit hours throughout this whole process. It's that master's of public policy. And I think that's a testament to our city administration. It's a testament to our city planner. It's a testament to our council president that we've been so thorough and diligent in taking this proposed rezoning through the process and making sure that resident input was heard every step of the way. And I've done my personal best to respond to every email that's come through the city. I hope I got to everybody, numbered in the hundreds. So everybody should be proud of the way that we got to this point right now. And I really do want to commend our city planner, Terry Crode. Terry is doing exactly what a city planner should be doing. Taking a request like this through the process, through the planning process, ensuring that it meets specific thresholds, specific standards before presenting it to the Planning Commission, and then subsequently the City Council. So you have done what you're hired to do, and have been very helpful throughout this process. The Planning Commission voted to bring this before City Council in November. Council has studied all of the implications of the rezoning over several meetings and lots of homework. We took our time thinking people think this through. And this vote is difficult. It really is, but we got here. So, obviously it can't be repeated or emphasized enough what we're voting on. We're voting on a valid consideration of land usage that was properly submitted to the city at 12 Mile and Southfield Road. We're not approving a purchase. We're not litigating against Walmart. So anyone who's contacted us, and I say this, I know that the audience has been respectful of that, but anyone who's watching the council meeting who's contacted us, we're talking about proper zoning. And anyone who has an objection to Walmart should have contacted the seller of this property, not City Council. We're talking about land usage. So the number one issue surrounding this development in terms of land usage has been traffic. So I really want to address that first and dive into that. I grew up actually in this area of Southfield. My parents still live in that area of Southfield. So I know I'm young, but I've lived in this city for 26 years. So I know what traffic looked like 10, 15, 20 years ago on that stretch. And for me, simply put, businesses along that corridor were more thriving a decade and a half ago than they are today. And Oakland County Road Commission verifies that traffic was at higher levels a decade ago. We know that this proposal will marginally impact traffic flow at peak hours, an unnoticeable difference. And I do believe that. I really do. One of the planning commissioners said at a planning commission study session that really struck me, and it's been alluded to, a thriving city has traffic in it. And businesses on Southfield Road depend on traffic, depend on car movement so that people know that that business is there. So I really can't say it's the quantity of traffic that dooms this proposal for me. But maybe it's the quality of the traffic. And we've heard time and time again about that the flow of traffic on Southfield Road is what's the problem, not the number of cars. But there have been proposals that have come down about creating a boulevard to slow down traffic, a plan that finds itself through a new batch of logistic hurdles every time that it moves forward. So I have some hesitations with the flow and direction of traffic, not the quantity. I think that a city thrives with traffic, but this is a failing intersection because of the flow of traffic. We're at a low for the last 15 years, and it's still a failing intersection. So it's not the increase of cars that causes me concern, it's the direction and the flow. So the question's been asked of us, is this rezoning establishing a desirable zoning trend in the city? And I'm not so sure. What is a desirable zoning trend for this community, for the densely developed residential neighborhood at 12 Mile and Southfield Road. It was mentioned here tonight, this is going to be a development unlike others because this has direct access through overflow parking into the neighborhood. And as a city, do we want to have yet another intense use B3 business district along that corridor? And that's what I struggle with. Walmart has come to this intersection saying that there's a grocery need in this area. And I don't disagree with that. I really don't. So if there's a grocery need, why aren't we building a grocery store? Walmart has two less intense models, a Walmart Marketplace and a Walmart Express, and we have less intense zoning. I don't think that 130 square foot development using the city's most intense business district zoning is the most desirable land use for the neighborhoods surrounding it, or even for us as a city in need of redevelopment. And I say this because we are a city in need of redevelopment. But we aren't a city with a lot of undeveloped land. So when an opportunity comes to rezone a large parcel, we have to be very careful what we do with the zoning on it. If this is approved, this big box Walmart is going to be here for a long time. It will outlast all of us. 50 years from now, I hope to still be around. And I don't want to look at this development and say, 50 years ago, we were a little short-sighted on rezoning this as B3. We didn't look hard enough for alternative solutions. We didn't work hard enough to provide support to our planning and economic development team, but rather took the first development project that came our way just because it came. And now we have this intense big box, intense development here. So if we become a city of intense zoning, intense development, we limit our and really close and narrow our opportunities for redevelopment in the future. So 50 years from now, I'm stuck with the consequences of that. And so that's where I take this vote. I take it far down the line. So what's the solution here? And that's another struggle. And I hear Councilman Fracassi. I think I've probably talked to you more than anybody because this is a struggle. What is the solution here? I kind of liken this corridor to 10 Mile and Evergreen, right off of a neighborhood. We're doing some creative things with brownfields there. We have a mixed-use overlay district zoning coming forward as an option for the city. I think that's the most desirable zoning trend that the city should employ. And I think that's going to help us redevelop and become a Renaissance city. But I don't see the back of Southfield being saved by intense use, unredevelopable intense use. So what are the next steps? I really challenge this council to start playing offense and not defense. And I think we really need to redefine our own role within the economic development strategy in this city. It seems to me that a proposal can make its way through the planning process, comes to council at the last stop. We say no, and we send it back to the drawing board. That's our role as council, but we have to be willing to be at the drawing board as well. My vote is going to be a call to action for city council. I think we need more visioning sessions. I think we need more one-item agenda meetings with our city planner, with our business development team. I think we should have a new committee, an economic development committee. I'll be the first person to volunteer to serve on that. A council committee. We have a finance committee, which is a broad committee. We have site plan, but that doesn't deal necessarily specific with economic development. I think we should have a council committee that works with the planner, works with probably our deputy administrator, and our economic development leader. And I would be happy to be on service in that. And I know that there are council people up here as well willing to do that heavy lifting. But I think what this proposal highlights is a need for this city to take control over the direction of vacant land in Southfield, especially if it's not city-owned. we need an inventory of vacant land. We need to know who owns it, what's the best land use for it, what can we do as a city to help the property owners get to a point where the land in the city is more desirable. It gets to a point of desirable land use. I'm not voting no on redevelopment, but I'm voting yes on right development. So those are my remarks. This has been a very enlightening process. Like Councilwoman Seymour, you know, I'm elated by the residents who have come to profess their desire to stay in this city. I grew up here. I could live anywhere. My friends from college are all around the country. I stay here in Southfield because I had a great upbringing here. I love this community, and I appreciate your support of this community as well.